It's 8:21 and New Jersey might be known for diners and boardwalk pizza, but did you know it's also home to more than 60 vineyards and wineries? This week, the Garden State Wine Growers Association is highlighting some of the best seasonal events happening across New Jersey's wine country. And here to tell us more is Devon Perry, who is the executive director of the Garden State Wine Growers Association. Devon, good morning to you. Good to have you on.
Good morning. Thank you so much for highlighting these events. I know that we just heard from our weather forecast that there
Mhm.
may be some clouds, there could be some chances of this, that, and the other. Well, the good thing in New Jersey wine country is we're always pouring inside, even when it's pouring outside. So we highly recommend that people check out our events.
That's a great line. We're pouring inside when it's pouring. That's awesome. I love that, Devin. So tell
Thank
us,
you.
how did you, that's really cool. When and how did you first form the Garden State Wine Growers Association? Because I think a lot of people, and I used to be heavily into wines years ago. Used to consider myself a bit of a vinophile, not so much today, but um, not that I have anything against wine, but I'm just curious when it was started and what was the impetus behind it.
So the Garden State Wine Growers Association highlights our beautiful state's nickname. So what our wineries and our winemakers have done over the past 4 decades, believe it or not, we've been around for that long, is they've cultivated quite literally the land in New Jersey. If you can grow all of the delicious things that we grow that are Jersey fresh, just imagine how terrific our wine is because our grapes are growing in the same beautiful, rich soil. So the Garden State Wine Growers Association is a true New Jersey wine community. We do everything from highlight wonderful events at our wineries in their tasting rooms. We work and partner with organizations like yours, other nonprofits, chambers, hotels, tourism partners, truly to attract folks from right around the corner who may not even know that New Jersey wine is a thing, and the international community is celebrating quite loudly right now.
And New Jersey, is home to a lot of different microclimates, much like France and Italy. And that's really, as you mentioned, we have the soil, that's great, but it's also that certain grapes grow better in certain temperatures and humidities, right? So you might have
That's
a
right.
certain grape, like a red grape that might work in slightly cooler, not colder, but slightly cooler temperatures, like you would have
Mhm.
in Germany, say, or in parts of France. And then you have some grapes that grow really well in super hot climates, but it's all suited for the different areas. I know the first time I think I had, because I'm from New York originally, and the first really nice wine I ever had from produced in New Jersey was an ice wine. And it was,
Yes.
for those who don't know, ice wine is a dessert wine. It was one of the best ice wines I'd ever had. You could sip on that after a great meal all night. And it was produced right here in New Jersey.
Exactly. And one of the winners of a competition from a couple of years ago that we had was, I believe, an ice wine. So I'm curious as to which one you tried. But the truth is, you go all over the Garden State, and even though we're in an adorable little package here in New Jersey, we do have the diverse and rich climate that you were just describing. So there are 80 varieties of grapes that grow in New Jersey. If you go to some other parts of the world, they aren't as lucky as to have those unique growing conditions. We have four, what is called an American Viticultural Appellation, or an AVA for short. This is all really good cocktail party conversation, by the way. So make sure your viewers are taking notes. If you look all the way up north, we have the Warren Hills AVA. That's in the Hunterdon County area and above. Then you go a little bit further south and towards Pennsylvania, that's Central Delaware Valley AVA. We have two wineries in that particular spot. At the moment, that's close to Lambertville and New Hope. Come down south with me to everything beautiful and delicious between Philadelphia and Atlantic City South, and that's the Outer Coastal Plain AVA, which has been widely discussed as having competing climates and growing conditions to Bordeaux, France. And then go a little bit further south, and we have the Cape May Peninsula AVA, which has beautiful, sandy, rich soil and phenomenal varieties as well.
I love it. Well, it would have been in Lambertville. Actually, you triggered a memory because we were going to New Hope. It was like Christmas time, maybe late fall, early December. It was just before the Peddler's Village stuff happens, which is so fun. I love
Yes,
New
I love
Jersey,
that.
and well, that's technically Pennsylvania, but it's right at the border. Lambertville is such a great town. So we were in one of the restaurants in Lambertville, and they were featuring that ice wine, and that's where I tasted it, and
Yes.
we were just knocked off our feet. It was
Well,
so good. In fact, we bought some
what's
bottles to take
beautiful,
home.
right, and given that you just brought this up, if I may, there are some BYOBs across the state that actually have a partnership and feature just a single New Jersey winery. So I'm curious as to your experience because I know there's a Tomasello's tasting room in Lambertville below the Lambertville House, which is a beautiful boutique hotel. But you could go into BYOBs all over New Jersey, from Wanda BYOB in Haddonfield, which is featuring, I believe, White Horse Winery. So if you and I were to meet for dinner one night and we both forgot wine, which would never happen, and we went to one of those BYOBs, we'd be in luck.
I love it. Talk about the event roundup for New Jersey wine country. What's that all about?
So starting with Friday, August 1st, the Garden State Wine Growers has just launched a new spotlight on the events at our wineries. So we have events taking place all the way up north at Alba Vineyard. They have this every Friday through the end of October. They have also a little further south in the Cream Ridge area is Loretta Winery. They have food truck festivals regularly. We also feature them in our In the Vines newsletter, along with dozens and dozens of other events all across the state, including Rebel Sheep Wine Company, which is in Morris County. It's the only winery in Morris County. They have a sunflower festival on Sunday. Wine and chocolate pairings at Working Dog Winery. There's so many things happening. And then you go right into the week and you've got winery events all week long. So with help from people like you, we're able to tell folks in New Jersey what's going on. They can escape close to home and enjoy a variety of events from comedy to food trucks to just very simple wine pairing and educational sessions.
So it's also family friendly. It's not just wine tasting. There are things for kids if you want to bring the kids along too. So that's kind of cool, right? You got other stuff.
Exactly. Yep. And we have some of our wineries welcome kids. Some of our wineries are 21 and over. So if you want to have a little, grown-ups night out, you can kind of take a look at those wineries. They might be more your cup of tea. Some wineries allow pets. So we highly recommend checking directly with the winery before you book your trip.
Nothing like a drunk Pomeranian to get your day going. Let me tell you, Devin.
Hey, you said it. I don't encourage that for the record.
I only know one time of a friend's dog that got into a glass of sherry, let's just say, and it was an interesting outcome. Let's put it that way. My friend Earl's German Shepherd. Nonetheless, what is a website to find a list of events to plan a custom week in the vines?
You can visit us at New Jersey, all spelled out, wines, WINES, because one just isn't enough.com. So NewJerseyWines.com.
You are the best ambassador for the wine industry of New Jersey. You just know it all in a nice way. I love that. I, I
Thank
mean,
you.
you should be ordained. You were created by God for this. So, Devon Perry, Executive Director of the Garden State Wine Growers Association, and a new friend of On New Jersey
Yes,
Mornings. You have to come back again and again, please. Thank
I
you
would
for
love
joining us.
to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And
You,
cheers to New Jersey wine.
cheers to you as well. Thank you so much, Devon. All right.